niggas, they missing it. These niggas, they missing it. Stop with that renting shit. Go to the dealership, Tyler been getting it.
What it do, man? JM2Offical, man. What's going on?
What's good, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling great, man. You know what I'm saying? About to go into work in a little bit.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
It's all good, you know what I'm saying? I'm making that money and shit. A lot of people here ain't got jobs, you know? So,
yeah,
I can't be mad about it.
So you blessed. How was your summer and how's your fall/winter going so far?
Shit, it's going pretty good, you know what I'm saying? It's ups and downs, but, you know, life is all about that, you know what I'm saying? I'm just pretty much working through that, making some great music, making some of the best music I think I made in a while.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So just keep my head up and just, you know, enjoying life. I think it's been pretty good for real.
Yeah. So just how I found out about you is actually, you know, an interesting story. I was outside Mick Jenkins' concert one night. And I don't know if it was you or someone on your team that handed me a CD. You know what I mean? So I never heard you, you know, I put the CD in, I was like, oh yeah, this crank. But that was, 3 years ago maybe, so.
It's probably 2015.
Yeah. So over the years, you know, when my aux cord would fuck up, I have your CD inside the CD player. So I was jamming this shit for like 3 years. I'm like, damn, that's before, you know, the Hushhh media came about. And, you know, when we decided to start doing this, man, you was one of the first person I thought about, you know, interviewing. So
that's what's up.
I had to bring you through, man.
That's what's up. Yeah, I remember you told me that too. You DM me like you checked out the music at the concert. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know, for sure. Just even listening to it. 'Cause a lot of people be like, oh, mixtape rapper, SoundCloud, I get this shit. They don't want to frisbee that shit. People be disrespectful with that shit sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to check some of these niggas, but it's like, you know, it's all good. You know what I mean? I'm appreciative of people that actually give it a listen. So, yeah.
So do you feel like that's effective marketing strategy, still passing out CDs?
It used to be. In 2015, I caught the back end of it. Even back then, people was telling me it wasn't going to work. But a lot of people still had, you know, CD players in their car. You could still go to people like, hey, pop this in. Because a lot of times at concerts, it'll be a big traffic jam. People be sitting there bored. Like, yo, you need something to listen to? Pop this in. People play right there. They ain't got nothing to do. You know what I'm saying? So they end up becoming a fan right there on the spot. But nowadays, the CD thing really seems to be dying out. And I think you got to come up with something new. I haven't really figured out the next thing. And some people be talking about like the QR codes, or you know, have some people like scan some shit. But it's like, it's just you don't get anything to really, you know, I don't know. Like, you have to really with real people in some other way, I think, because the QR code isn't exciting. You know, you have to have some type of excitement. Before I had the CDs, people would look at it like, oh, this is dope, like, and make them want to listen to it.
Like the artwork.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to come up with something creative to make people want to check you out. So I mean, the game is always changing. You know what I'm saying? You gotta stay one step ahead. So.
So let's start from the top, man. So where exactly are you from in the DMV?
I'm from Upper Marlboro. I moved around a little bit, but you know, I used to stay out like Severn, Hanover, Anne Arundel area. When I was a little younger, and then I was around 15. I moved to Upper Marlboro, so pretty much been in PG ever since.
Yeah. So how was it, you know, bouncing around, you know, like as a child growing up?
I mean, it took some adjusting. It was definitely a different culture, especially between Anne Arundel and PG. You know what I'm saying? Because like down there they got like the club music, and up here, you know, it's all different. Exactly. So it's all type of, you know, different things. You know how it is living in the DMV. You know, depending on where you at, be like you're in a totally different area. You know, so.
So when did you decide rap was the thing for you? How did that process go?
Probably sometime I was in college. Yeah, definitely when I was in college. You know what I'm saying? I just really got to the point where I was, I just noticed how I developed a passion for it. You know what I'm saying? And really, it was getting me through some rough times in my life. And the way it was progressing on, it felt right. It just felt right. I can't really say why I did it, you know what I'm saying? But it just felt right, and it still feels right. So, you know, as long as it feels right, I'm going to keep doing it. When it starts feeling like, I don't fuck with this shit, I'm forcing it, like, it's not, you know. But as long as it feels right, I feel like keep going with it. Why not? What else I got? I don't got nothing else that really appeals to me like that, to be honest with you. Like, other shit is cool, but music to me is like, that's it. It's like, it gives me that certain, it just fills a certain void.
So when you first started writing, did you realize you was good, or who was the first people or person to tell you like, yo man, this shit kind of fire?
I know people was probably lying to me at first. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, because my first shit, and people told me it was dope, like to my face, and I put it on that piff, and people trashed it.
For real?
People shitted, like all the comments, like nigga you suck, like quit, like you trash, like it was like my first joint. People was shitting all over it.
How'd you deal with that? The negative feedback, did that motivate you any?
It definitely motivated me. Yeah, it definitely did. Cause I ain't like that shit. Yeah. So I had to go twice as hard. Like I can't go out like this. You know, that was my first one. I was only like 17 or some shit, so of course it was trash. But I developed a lot more since then. So
yeah. So, I mean, for people who haven't heard your music, you have an interesting, sound to your music. You know, it's a little different than what a lot of people hear. So, what are some of your musical influences and who you fucking with rap wise from the DMV?
Okay, I like that. See, I thought about this question because I figured you're gonna ask me this. So I've added something to a top 5.
Yeah.
I would say Outkast.
Okay.
Cudi. Pharrell. Kanye. And damn, I want to do 6. I want to say Drake and then Currency. Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to your shit earlier. I was like, I could definitely hear the Cudi influence. Not like Bible, but I can definitely hear the influence.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you rap, you produce, you do some songwriting, you engineer. How did all that come about?
Out of necessity.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do none of that shit, to be honest with you. I wanted to rap.
Yeah.
But it was like, when I first started rapping, beats was hella expensive.
Yeah.
It wasn't all these good ass beats on YouTube that you can get for like $20 and shit. People wanted like $100, $200 a beat. I'm like, I can't afford this shit. I had to start making beats because I ain't know nobody that made any good beats. And all people that was making beats was like, these are okay. This ain't really what I want. So I ended up doing that shit out of necessity, all that shit, engineering, all that shit. Who else is gonna do it for me? Like that's, I didn't want to do it. It was like, hey, I still, I had to get it done. So, yeah.
So is producing the same way you started rap? Who did you have, listen to your beats telling you, or was it just you because you were making the beats for yourself, like if it's good or not?
At first it was me and my boy Don. I met him in college, and he'd been producing for a little while, and he had FL Studio, which is what we both used to produce with. I had the program, but I didn't know how to use it. I had it for like almost a year, and it was like, this shit was like difficult as shit. And finally I went to the studio with him one day, and he kind of just sat down and started making beats, and I watched him do it, and I was like, oh, okay. Like I kind of went home and started fucking with it a little bit myself, and after that he was kind of like just showing me everything. I was kind of like the intern in a way, because he really knew how to make beats a lot better than I did. I didn't know how to do it at all. So I kind of just interned and watched him. And yeah, after that I would just play it for my friends and stuff. Just regular shit, passing mixtapes out, things like that, getting good feedback.
You ever thought about, selling your beats, or you keep them for yourself?
I've sold some beats.
Oh yeah?
I've sold some beats, like, like back in school and shit. I don't produce as much as I used to, but definitely when I did back in the day, like I was, definitely pushing a few beats here and there. Just a select few people that I knew I produced, It wasn't like, I ain't have like a beat page, nothing like that. But it was more or less, if you knew me, you get a beat, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you say you started rapping in college. So how long ago was that exactly?
Shit. I graduated like 6 years ago.
Yeah. So about 6-7 years you've been rapping?
Yeah.
How do you think the DMV music scene, rap scene has changed since back then to now?
Definitely more people rapping.
Yeah.
For sure. Back then it was all go-go, I'm not really sure if like, I think people still listen. I think the young kids kind of still listen to go like that, but it doesn't seem to be as popular as when we was, back in high school or whatever, I think you got a lot more rappers that made it, you know what I'm saying, like that. Now you're getting a lot of people that feel like, okay, it's a lot of talent here. And every other rapper that pops, it makes the A&Rs and all people look in the DMVs, okay, who else? They got another one, okay, who's the next one? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it really does increase the chances when more artists keep doing their thing. So it's a good little, it looks a lot better than it did like 10 years ago, I can say that for sure.
So how was it, for some of our younger audience, how was it 10 years ago, trying to be a rapper and trying to, push CDs outside concerts? What was that like for you?
like I said, that was when I started out, so I definitely got some hate here and there, you know what I'm saying? Like people in my MySpace and shit, like talking shit and all type of weird shit. You know, like the go-go bands was really the thing. You know what I'm saying? If you were like a rapper for a go-go band, that was probably more popping than being just a rapper. Like if you had like a hot go-go band, you was like the rapper or like the lead vocalist. You know what I'm saying? Like you probably get more shows. You make money and shit. Like, you know, you just split it between 6 niggas, but you know, you at least get, you know, $20, whatever, like buy you a bottle, you know, something. Yeah. So, I mean, it came a long way for sure.
Yeah, so you say the rap scene has changed a lot since, you know, back when you first started rapping. How do you feel about it? Do you think there's unity in the DMV right now with the artists and working together? How do you think that's going? And do you feel like we have some ways to go? It's some.
Yeah. I don't want to, you know, it's not quite as unified as it could be. I think it still got some ways to go, you know, but I definitely see some unity out here, you know what I'm saying? It's still kind of clicked up a little bit though, but I mean, I think that's always going to be the case, you know, it's still a new thing, so people are getting adjusted to it.
Yeah, so talk to us a little bit, you know, about your music and, you know, what you got coming up. You spoke a little bit off camera about the latest single you just dropped, dedicated to your child.
Yeah.
How has fatherhood, you know, changed you as far as your, you know, pursuit for rap?
Definitely.
Has it motivated you more to go harder?
Yeah. Not only motivated me, but give me a different inspiration too. I got something else to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Plus, not only that, but I'm going through a little crazy case with my child's mom and shit. So all that I'm just putting into the music. You know what I'm saying? Like just you know, all type of emotions I feel from that. And I mean, fatherhood is great. You know what I'm saying? Like just knowing that I got a new purpose and somebody that I gotta like looking up to me at the end of the day. I can't have him out here like, oh, his dad was, you know, some slum nigga or something like that when he grew up. You know what I mean? You really think about that because like one day he gonna grow up. You know what I mean? I'm like, we can't have that. So, you know, it definitely gives me a new motivation to want to make something for myself and for him. Yeah.
So, for the people out there who aren't familiar to the area, how would you describe the DMV, or what's the best way you could describe the DMV and the food, the sound, the people, the fashion? How would you describe that to someone who's never been over here before?
I mean, it's really like a mixing pot of culture.
Yeah.
I think that's like the best thing about the DMV. You get a little bit of everything. You know, I think no matter what race you come from, you can probably come to the DMV and like find your own little spots, your own little areas to eat at, own places to hang out. Like, you know, it's a very diverse culture. I think that's one of the best things about it. I think you can kind of get, you know, a little bit of every little flavor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. So what do you have working? What do you have coming, you know, for the end of the year, early 2019? What can people expect to hear from you?
Just putting out more music. Like I said, I'm putting out like one song a month. So I'll probably do a project at some point, but I'm really just trying to get, you know, consistent following of people expecting the song, and then like, you know, just every song getting better, you know, numbers going up. So I feel like, okay, now people might really want a project, you know what I'm saying, to put that together. But up until then, just, you know, more songs. I think I'm about to get out here and start performing a little bit more. I got some songs, some different type of songs I want to do in some different type of settings, so I got to figure out where I can do them at. But yeah, just, you know, songs and videos and performances, the whole nine. Just, you know, got to follow me on IG and stay up to date with what I'm doing.
Yeah. So who are some artists that, you know, that you work with, and some artists that you want to work with in the future?
To be honest, I don't do a whole lot of collabs.
Why is that?
I just feel like it's hard for me to find artists that I really vibe with like that. I feel like we're really on the same shit as far as talent level, as far as like content. Either it's like they're on the same level as with talent, but their content is like, I don't really want to talk about that, but you want to talk about XYZ, I'm not really into that. Or you got some niggas where their content is on the same shit I'm talking about, but it seems like their talent or their skill level, like, I don't know how often you're in the studio, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe you need to get in there every day if you can, like every other day. Some niggas, they sound like they're in there once a week. That's not a shot, but it's like, I'm in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really in there working. So like, I got people, I try to get in there every day. I try to get in there a couple hours, you know what I'm saying? If I can, I'll never skip more than like 2 days. Like, I gotta get in there, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the most important part, is consistency and working hard, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to develop your sound. So I mean, I'm open to collabs, so don't get me wrong. it's a select few that I'll probably work with. For the most part, I'm just like, I don't want to force anything if it happens naturally. If I see something, someone I can reach out to who maybe fits a certain song, I'm not afraid to do that if it needs to be done. But for the most part, I just make my shit on my own, to be honest.
So how long have you been, listening to hip hop, and when did that become important to you? Was it just in college when you started, really getting to rap, or did something listen to following your?
It started when I was a kid, when I was like 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, like around like 11, 12 was when I first started listening to rap, listening to Jay-Z, shit like that. And I think I fell in love with it instantly. Yeah. I started going through, like, Googling like the best albums and going through all those and just checking them out. And yeah, I fell in love with hip hop at an early age, I'd probably say.
Yeah, so what advice you think you have for any up and coming rappers who might be watching this interview and could use the advice, honestly, what advice would you have for them?
I'm trying to get my shit going. I mean, like, I just say work hard.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
From someone who, like you said, you've been doing this for 6 years. Most dudes, like you said, the area just start popping for real. So a lot of dudes are just getting into it. So you got years on a lot of people. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
What advice from that standpoint would you have to offer?
I would say try to stay to your sound and what you want to hear. Don't kind of get lost in what everybody else is doing and trying to, I feel like you see a lot of people that are kind of like following trends and shit and riding waves. But I mean, you gotta do it to a certain extent. I get it, but some people just get lost in that shit to the point where they have no identity. Like, you gotta keep your identity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's super important. And cultivate your sound. And like I said, just work hard, stay in the studio. Whatever's happening in your life, like, don't make no excuses. Just keep working. At the end of the day, you're gonna regret it if you stop. So.
Yeah. So listening, going back and going through your music, I hear that I feel like you, towards the your newer project, kind of found your sound. Maybe. Is it easy to maintain your sound and not being sucked in? A lot of people, what's big right now is the DMV flow. A lot of people doing that. Is it hard to, try to stay away from that and try to stay in your own lane?
It's definitely something I have to stay aware of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes if I'm just rapping and
catch yourself,
I'm not thinking about it, you just find yourself, you just freestyle and you find into a little pocket like, oh damn, I'm doing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I had to really, I got to the point where I had a real popular song I made like a few years ago called Rolling with the Stones. And I noticed people really like the way I rapped on that joint. So every time I went to make a new track, I kind of like, okay, what do I do with that particular flow that people like? And I kind of just started patterning my shit off of that. And so my new rapping style is really patterned off of that flow. I mean, I definitely developed it in different ways, but it's something I have to definitely pay attention to. Like I said, if I'm just rapping sometimes, I just fall into that pocket like, damn, I sound like someone. Let me go back. Let me find, like, what would I do? Instead of being like, what sounds best on this track? Like, what would I do best on this track? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you talked a little bit about, doing shows and performing. Do you remember your first performance, and what was that like?
It was at a talent show in college.
Yeah.
And so my first one, that was my first one. It was pretty dope. It was pretty dope. I mean, like I said, I wasn't that good at rapping back then, but I think so many people were just surprised that I was rapping and it wasn't trash. I rapped over the Paper Planes instrumental. You know what I'm saying? And so I had the crowd going, all I want to do, turn, all that, you know what I'm saying? So they were like calling response and shit. So it went pretty good, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was some funny shit that happened before. I ended up breaking my belt. Like, I don't know, I guess I on a cheap ass belt or something, man. These big ass pants at the time, so I broke my belt. Yeah. My roommate had to come and run backstage and let me borrow his belt just so I could like keep performing because my pants was falling down and shit. Like, it was like some weird shit that happened. But other than that, it went pretty smooth. Good.
Yeah. So what was the reception like for Rolly with the Stone when you dropped it?
So like, it was kind of slow at first, to be honest. Like, I put it out and maybe like after the first couple months, maybe I had like 100 plays. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was doing alright, but it wasn't really like popping like that. And then I shot a video for it, and the video got picked up by like a blog, Good Music All Day. It's kind of like a popular like college blog. And after that, it just got a whole bunch of views. Like, over like 2 days, it got like 20,000 views. I was like, what the fuck? Like, Then SoundCloud started popping. It broke the link. And like on SoundCloud, you can only do like 100 downloads and that shit broke within like a few hours and shit. Everybody was just like, yeah, it was really dope. It made me see like, okay, you know, you do the right things, you network and shit. That was just like a luck of the draw. I just sent it to them. They just happened to pick it up. They thought it was dope. And did a dope little write about it. Yeah.
You actually sent it out?
I just sent it to them. You know what I'm saying? They had a little submission joint. I just sent the video and they did a whole little write up. It sounded like ASAP Rocky or some shit. Yeah, I was like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's fine. So, but yeah, that was a dope moment. You know.
So what would you have to say for rappers? Because I know a lot of rappers don't like reaching out, I guess because of pride, you know, as far as networking. What would you say about, you know, people who think like that? It's kind of like, nah, man, I'm going to do it myself, everything myself, you know, networking. Do you think that's smart or?
No, you definitely got to network. I mean, that's one of my problems because I stay to myself. I be in the studio, you know what I'm saying? I be cooking up, smoking, like I just, you know. But at the same time, like I know that networking is like a super, super important thing. 'Cause sometimes you even see certain people who have less talent, but they just plugged in everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like you see it, and then you see niggas with skill and talent that's just like, that shit ain't going nowhere because they don't know nobody. Like it really depends on, you know, what you put into your music and the people you know and how you know to, you know, use the connections that you got.
Yeah. So what's your, I'm interested, what's your writing process like when you get in the booth or whatever? Do you freestyle or do you write it down or you just punch in?
I write my shit.
Yeah.
I write my shit, but when I first start off, like I find a beat, you know, I find a beat that I really connect with. I get a few ideas with it. I always do the hook first. Always hook was before the verses.
Do you think that's important for your style?
Yeah. I think it's probably important for everybody. I don't know. I think it's just the way to go, to be honest with you. If you're trying to create a good song, I feel like start with the hook and then write your verses based on the hook. The hook is always going to be the most important part of the song 9 times out of 10. Or like really catchy part in the verses, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but for the most part, you know, I feel like you always start with the hook. And then after that, I like to kind of find like pockets. Like I like to find a flow before I find the lyrics. So I kind of figure out, okay, what's my style? How would I approach it? Not how would XYZ, you know, but how would I do my thing on this? And after I kind of like, I like to record like the flow without, you know, just mumbling and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll record the flow and then I'll kind of patch the words in. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's kind of my process.
So I guess as far as rap, where do you see yourself, you know, like 3 to 5 years with the rap thing? Do you feel like now you're at a point where you're starting to see, I guess, progress and the numbers starting to add up more?
I'm definitely starting to see like the numbers starting to jump a little bit. You know, I don't really necessarily look at on a certain timeline. You know, I just know that I'm gonna keep working. It's what I enjoy to do. In 3 to 5 years, I'm sure I'll still be gonna be making music one way or another. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, this is what I enjoy to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I expect for myself. I'm always want to create, and that's never gonna stop. So, I guess in your career, who do you think your biggest supporters are right now, as far as your music? And who do you have, you know, in your corner, you know, telling you like, you know, I guess like a management or anything like that, or how do you make your moves? I don't necessarily have a management, but I got other people who have been with me for years, who always, you know, show support whenever I need something, you know. So, yeah, most is just family and friends, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? And then just like people like you and people that I've reached out to, my CDs, and, you know, maybe hit me on DMs all the time or just show love, you know, even over social media and shit, repost my music, things like that. Like, that helps a lot too. Yeah, man. So, I mean, you got the singles, you got the single that just dropped. You know, you say you got more on the way, man. We looking forward to hearing from you, man. Anything else you wanna say to the fans, to the people, the supporters out there? Shit, man. Just keep fucking with the music. Keep fucking with the music. You know what I'm saying? Like keep following me. You know, expect a lot more content in the future. I feel like I kind of, you know, slowed up a little bit. Do you think so? As far as putting the music out. Okay. You know, kind of getting like a little hesitant. It was making it, wasn't putting it out, but now I'm to the point where I gotta keep putting this shit out. So. What was the reason for the slowdown? If you don't mind me asking. Probably just being a perfectionist. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I always like, you know, trying to find some reason to nitpick my shit instead of being like, you know, this is good, I might as well just put this out. Like, you know, but you never know how people are gonna feel about your music. I've heard so many times artists say like, oh man, this song blew up and I wasn't gonna put that out. I ain't even fuck with that song. Like, you know what I mean? Like I've heard that so many times. Like, oh, you know that song's gonna blow up, and artists be like, hell no, I thought this song was gonna work. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you just gotta put a lot of content out and just let the people decide. So yeah, that's the way to go.
Yeah, like even for us, man, like we've been doing this shit for like a year and a half now, and I say the biggest thing that we have over a lot of other people that do it is consistency. You know what I mean? Like just like you, like I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I just got a camera, YouTube, and kind of learning along the way. So I think that's a very important step, just to stay consistent, even if I know it's the curse of like creatives, like putting you want your shit to be perfect, you gonna put it out, but I'm learning, and I'm still learning. Don't just put trash out there, but just gradually just keep dropping stuff, like because people paying attention.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So JM2Offical, man. Appreciate you coming out, man.
Appreciate you for having me, man. This is dope.
Yeah, man.
Niggas, they missing it.